Hey guys, hello. It's Jessica Coulter here of Ace Cookie Tutoring. Welcome to today's video all about distractions. We are focusing today on sparkly assignments. So if your teen likes to do assignments that have all sorts of fun and new things like new technology, new programs, new tools, all of those sparkly things, let me know down below which particular tools, ton of technologies that your teen is loving. Okay, be as specific as you like, as broad as you like. If you want to say certain apps, you want to say certain, like I said, equipment, different things like that, I want to know because that is what our myth is about today. Now, before I get too much farther, do you know I have something for you free in my group? It's called a homework buster. That's what I'm calling it. I bust 5 homework kind of complaints, essentially, that your teens might give you. So if you want to grab that, join me in my group, soon to be called Teaching Teens to Love Learning. So now that you guys are telling me which particular items, things your teen loves that are sparkly, I want to talk about why it's myth. So there are teachers out there are educators, there are people that think the best way to teach something, whether it's review, whether it's brand new concept, it has to be done a cool way. It has to be done with the latest app, has to be done with the newest, computer, newest some kind of electronic device. Do you know that is a myth? Okay. I have plenty of students that I work with as a tutor, as a study coach, who beg me to get off of the computer. They beg me for workbooks and worksheets. Okay. There are a lot of kids out there, a lot of students, I should say, middle school, high school, and college, that prefer paper and pencil. They don't want to be on the computer all of the time. If they don't have to type something and they can handwrite it, they want to handwrite it. If they don't have to try to type in that little box and type in the right numbers and then submit that worksheet that could be printed off and submitted that way, they would rather have the actual worksheet. So that is our myth for today, is knowing that all of those fancy, cool things are not necessary to get students to learn. They don't want it all of the time. They don't need it all of the time. Okay? So I want to continue on with this in just a moment. Before I do, we're live on Facebook, live on YouTube right now. So I hope you caught this live. If not, would love for you to drop the word replay down below so I can figure out the best time to go live for you guys. So what else can I share with you about sparkly assignments? I want to tell you that there are all sorts of new advances happening all the time, new research. So definitely new techniques are always wonderful, but I just know that a lot of parents ask me, a lot of teens think, hey, there's this new thing that records my notes for me, or there's this new way of storing devices or files, or this thing I should buy because it's the latest and greatest. It's not a requirement. Okay, there are times when when a student has a choice to make a poster, like I grew up with, like all the parents that are watching probably grew up with, and they just want, that poster board, that neon pink, that neon yellow, whatever color it is, and some markers, some stencils, and make a poster instead of having to do something in PowerPoint or in Google Slides or OnePoint or all of these other things that are available to them. Sometimes they just want to go old school, and that is totally fine. Now, there are kids on the opposite side that they love their technology, but I got to tell you, for me personally, and what I see when I work with students, is that what happens is when a teacher and when a student has to learn something new, like I'm thinking iMovie. We struggle with that a lot when I worked as a para, just because it was new to everyone. The middle schoolers had never used it before. The teacher was new to it. And so it made it so much harder to complete the project because there was research to do. And that was one aspect. Another aspect was having to learn how to open iMovie, let alone use the templates, let alone type things in, let alone figure out the transitions and the music and all that other stuff. And I got to tell you, there are a lot of kids that get distracted by that technology aspect, by that learning how to use this sparkly thing that takes away from the learning. So I want you to know, parents, your teen does not need the coolest, latest gadget, office supply, learning tool out there. Okay, that is not necessary. Sometimes, yeah, it improves your child's learning. Sometimes it is a wonderful aid. But remember, like I've mentioned many, many times, and I will keep mentioning, learning is personal and it depends on your child's learning style. Okay, so I want you to know you don't have to have the latest and greatest, coolest, newest, sparkly things for your child to be successful. So if you have any questions about this, definitely would love to answer those for you in a follow-up video. And again, if you haven't shared with me yet, maybe some other tools, the apps, the technology that your teen loves to use, would be awesome to learn about that, because there are things that I love that I suggest to parents, I suggest to students I tutor and coach, but it just comes down to what works for them, what comes down to their learning style. So thanks for watching. Be sure to join me in my group that is soon to be called Teaching Teens to Love Learning by clicking the link in the description. All you gotta do is click the link, answer a couple questions, and you'll be in, and you'll be able to grab my homework buster. It's totally free and has 5 tips to bust all of those objections your teen might have for when you ask him to do his homework. So thanks for watching. Have a good night. We'll see you soon.